Hi guys, a few days ago Donald Trump called the Ukrainian president a dictator. Where was Joe Biden? Donald Trump is gutting public services with his friend Elon Musk and the Republican Party, which will drive more and more Americans into poverty and will deny life-saving health care to others. Where is Kamala Harris? There are two types of Democrats. One group of politicians who remain silent until about a year before the presidential election, where they start talking about policies, where they get bigwig endorsements and photo opportunities with celebrities. Then there's another type of Democrat, the AOC or Bernie Sanders of this world, campaigning constantly on the issues that affect ordinary people, who speak to the public but seem to have little or no control over the Democratic Party. Senator Sanders is pretty old, but he hasn't given up the battle. He started the Fight the Oligarchy tour, which is touring the United States, and he's drawing crowds online and in person. This is how you defeat Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
But brothers and sisters, our job, as difficult as it is not just to defeat that legislation, not just to take on oligarchy and authoritarianism and a culture of greed. We've got to do more. And what we have got to do is rally the American people to understand a very simple but profound fact. We are the richest country in the history of the world. We are not a poor country. And in the richest country in the history of the world, there is no rational reason why we are not providing a decent standard of living for every man, woman, and child in our nation. That's not utopian thinking, That is, in fact, what exists in a number of countries around the world. In America, we must establish that health care is a human right, not a privilege. It is not radical to say that every American, regardless of income, should be able to walk into a doctor's office and get the care that he or she needs. It is not radical to say that if you're struggling with cancer or some other terrible disease, you should not go bankrupt or deplete your savings in order to pay the damn bills. In the richest country on earth, every American worker is entitled to earn a decent standard of living. We must raise the minimum wage in this country to a living wage, at least $17 an hour. And at a time when millions of workers all over this country want to join unions because they understand that unions are the path to decent wages and benefits and working conditions, we got to make it easier for workers to join unions by passing the PRO Act.
I'll just stop there because this is a 1 hour video and I do recommend watching it. There are other guests who come on and talk about a whole range of issues. But I love this guy. He's speaking the language that most Americans understand. Healthcare should be a human right. People shouldn't have to go bankrupt if they end up with an illness. People should be paid decent wages. They should be able to join a trade union to protect their rights, hard-earned rights. This is the language that politicians should be speaking to the public. But where are the Democrats? He's the only one. AOC is another. There are a few younger people, not very high-profile people within the Democratic Party, but the bigwigs are not talking about this. Where is Joe Biden pushing back on Donald Trump? Where is Kamala Harris pushing back on the Republican Party and the new administration, gutting public services? Where are the Democrats? They keep talking about how Donald Trump is a problem, that he's eroding, destroying the Constitution, but they're not doing anything about it. Why is it only this guy, who's pretty old, traveling around the United States, meeting members of the public, doing live streams. This is not his job. His job is to represent the people of Vermont, but he's representing the people of America at the moment. He's not even running for president. He's doing more than any other Democrat at the moment. Why is this the case? And he's talking simple language. He's saying to people, there is a better world out there. We have to fight for it. We have to push back on Donald Trump, the Republican Party, and Elon Musk, because they're not interested in your well-being. They don't care about you. They care about filling their pockets. They're gutting public services. They're running the country into the ground. And you're going to be worse off. Something I love about Bernie Sanders as well is he's not critical of how people voted. He's not criticizing the people who voted for Donald Trump. He's listening to them. He's trying to explain to them, I understand why you're attracted to this type of politics. I understand why you voted for Donald Trump. I understand that the Democratic Party and the Democratic government was not on your side. But Donald Trump is not the solution. There's a better world. And he points to countries like Denmark and other European countries and says, look, this is a model that we could have. A situation in America, the richest nation in the world. How is it not possible that we're able to provide universal health care? How is it not possible that we're able to provide a decent living wage? Worker protections. Why aren't we doing that? Why is it only someone like Bernie Sanders who's talking about this? And he's somebody who's campaigning constantly. He's not waiting until the next presidential election and saying, okay, now is my opportunity. He's not an opportunist. He's somebody who actually cares about ordinary people. He's been campaigning on a whole range of issues that were not popular many years ago, decades ago. This is somebody who truly cares. It's not rhetoric. It's not some sort of political ploy. He actually does care about people, and he keeps fighting. And more people, I think, are coming around to this, but they need to listen to what he's saying, and they need to act. They need to go out and call their senators, call their congressmen, pressure them to vote against policies that are damaging the American people. Because Trump is in control now. Elon Musk is in control now. And their friends in the media are not interested in listening to people like Bernie Sanders and what he has to say. So there has to be a fight back. I keep saying that elections are referendums on the incumbent, and it will be a referendum on Donald Trump if there's going to be election. Let's hope that he doesn't cancel elections like his friend Putin, or manipulate them. But if there is a general election or a presidential election, it will be a referendum on Donald Trump. But he can stop people from turning up. He can convince them that there's no point in voting. And that's why it's so important that people like Senator Sanders tell people, go out and register to vote, organize, speak to members of the public, talk to your family, talk to people who voted for Donald Trump, ask them, is their life better? Ask them, would they like something better? And then you'll be able to push out these people. You'll be able to defeat them at the next election. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. And do look at this video. I'll leave a link in the description.